So good morning, class. Today, me, Ms. Talatad, and Ms. Susana will discuss about responsibility accounting. So can any of you tell the class if they have a business? Ayun, so meron naman sa inyo may business na. So is it a personal business or a family business? So yung iba sa inyo, merong family business, ay yung iba naman, personal business. So for those na merong personal business naman, can you tell the class if you know about the ROI or if what is it that you know about ROI? Ayun, so tama naman siya na yung ROI is nag-expect ka ng interest or income mula doon sa negosyo na tinayo mo. Because with ROI, it is when you put out something and then you expect that something to go back to you in terms of profit. And aside from that, ROI kasi is a key metric para ma-measure natin yung performance ng company natin or yung negosyo na itinayo natin kung saan tayo ay nag-invest. So for today's learning objective, we are going to discuss on the computation for the return on investment or ROI and show how changes in sales, expenses, and assets affect ROI. Kasi diba, with the ROI, kailangan nating malaman kung yung in-invest ba natin is nagkakaroon ng income or profit doon sa time na ina-expect natin na makakakuha siya ng returns. So, this is the computation or the formula for the return on investment. So, for this, we need to divide the net operating income by the average operating assets. So, yung net operating income, ito yung mga income na nakuha natin before magkaroon ng interest and taxes. And yung average operating assets naman natin ay yung mga cash, account receivable, inventory, plant and equipment, and other productive assets na meron yung negosyo natin. So, net book value versus gross profit. So, most companies use the net book value of depreciable assets to calculate average operating assets. So to get the net book value, we need to compute we need to get the acquisition cost or the purchasing cost and less it by its accumulated depreciation to get the net book value. So with net book value nga, it is important for a company because it helps the businesses to record the correct value ng assets kasi nga kinukuha natin or nililess natin yung depreciation ng asset natin by the purchasing cost. And then, with this net book value, mai-inform yung company natin or yung negosyo natin kasi malalaman natin kung saan tayo mag-i-invest next or magkano yung utang na feasible. So, what is gross cost naman? Gross cost is kilala as gross price din. Because ito yung total ng cost natin na na-acquire natin ang product and or yung services natin. So with gross cost, ito yung total cost na nagamit ka natin or yung na-incurred natin para magawa yung product na yon. So with this, hindi natin ginagamit yung di tayo maglalas dito ng any discounts, rebates, and other cost reductions. Then, in gross cost, dito natin makikita lahat ng expenses na nagamit natin para ma-create yung product na yon. Included dito yung raw materials, labor, yung overhead, taxes, and other expenses na nagamit natin in order for us to produce that product. So, understanding ROI. So, as per mentioned kanina, to compute the ROI, we need to divide the net operating income by the average operating assets. So, there are other factors na we need to consider by computing the ROI. So, we have the margin and turnover. So, paano nga natin makukuha yung margin and yung turnover? So, for us to get the margin, we need to divide the net operating income by the sales. So, yung margin natin, ito yung as presented naman yung formula niya, ito yung nakakatulong para ma-improve natin yung sales natin or ma-reduce natin yung operating expenses natin. Kasi sa margin, dito nalalower yung mas mababa yung operating expenses natin, mas mataas yung margin na makukuha natin. And next is yung turnover. So, to compute the turnover, we need to divide the sales by the average operating assets. So, as per show naman in the screen, yung turnover naman natin is na-incorporate siya kapag yung manager natin or ito yung crucial area ng manager's responsibility. Kasi with turnover, yung investment natin sa operating assets is na i-incorporate ng manager. And yung mga excessive funds natin is natatied up siya sa operating assets, which is nade-depress in turnover. So, ma-lower yung ROI natin. So, another formula for ROI is margin times turnover, which is why margin and turnover is important. Also, by understanding the ROI or the return on investment. So, how do we increase the ROI? So, first, we need to increase the sales. Second, we need to reduce the expenses. And third is we need to reduce the assets. So, kasi sa isang negosyo, kapag wala tayong ROI, mas best or better na i-check natin yung operations natin, yung sales natin, marketing, or other factors. Kasi, doon natin malalaman kung need ba nila ng adjustments para ma-increase natin or ma-determine natin kung ano yung mga factor na nakaka-apekto, bakit hindi tumataas yung ROI natin. So, bakit kailangan natin i-increase yung sales natin? Kasi, pag i-increase natin yung sales natin, syempre, magiging mas profitable siya. So, kailangan natin mapataas yung profit natin. Kapag in-increase natin yung sales, tataas yung return ratio natin over time and magiging profitable siya lalo. So, with efficiency naman, syempre, need natin na mag-invest sa mga productivity tools na mas makakatulong sa sales natin para mas maging efficient siya. And then, with ROI, syempre, by increasing sales, kailangan natin i-optimize yung business natin and kung paano natin ma-allocate yung resources natin. So, yung with reduced expenses naman, makakatulong siya para ma-increase yung ROI natin kasi mababawasan yung mga bagay na or yung mga cost na ginagawa natin para ma-operate yung business natin. So, next is yung reduce ng assets. Because with reducing the assets, mai-improve natin yung cash flow natin and madidispose natin yung mga non-productive na assets natin, which is why we need to check or to determine yung mga assets na hindi productive para sa business natin. Next is the example of computing ROI. So, Regal Company reports the following. Net operating income is 30,000, average operating assets 200,000, sales 500,000, and operating expenses 470,000. So, what is Regal Company's ROI? So, first, we need to determine first what is the formula that we are going to use. So, ang gagamitin natin, going back, is ROI is equal to margin times turnover. So, ayun nga, how do we get the margin? So, we need to divide the net operating income by sales, and by getting the turnover, we need to divide the sales by average operating assets. So, by multiplying margin and turnover, we will get the ROI for the Regal Company. So here is the computation for the Regal Company's ROI. So first, their net operating income is 30,000 and their sales is 500,000. So by computing that, we will be able to get 6% and um, turnover of 500,000 sales divided by average operating assets of 200,000, we will be able to get 2.5. So that will be giving us a 15% um, ROI or return on investments. So here, we're explaining bakit siya naging 15%. Kasi ROI natin is yung wherein yung profit natin is na-express siya in percentage. And some people misuse ROI kasi yung iba sasabihin, I'll buy laptop na lang or something, phone, ganyan. Eh, kasi ma-ROI ko naman siya within 6 months of usage, gano'n. So, they are like misusing ROI by payback period. Kasi with payback period, di ba, we are referring to the time that we will be able to recover the investments. So, that is the difference that we have by payback period and ROI. Kasi some people misuse it nga, as I have said earlier. So, with this, madadetermine natin. Kasi ROI, we use as percentage para ma-express yung profit natin. So, next is investing in operating assets to increase sales. So, here is another example by increasing the sales naman. So, assume that Regal's manager invests in a $30,000 piece of equipment that increases sales by $35,000 while increasing operating expenses by $15,000. So, Regal Company reports the following. Net operating is 50,000, average operating assets is 230,000, sales is 535,000, and operating expenses 485,000. So, to compute that, we need to get the margin and turnover first again. So, to get the margin, we need to divide 50,000 by 535,000, and by computing the turnover, we will be dividing 535,000 by 230,000. So, we will be able to have 9.35% times 2.33, and by multiplying that, we will be able to get 21.8% ROI. So from the previous example, we have 15% ROI, and now we have 21.8%. So by investing in operating asset, we will be able to increase our sales by 6.8%. So here naman is yung criticisms of ROI. So in the absence of balanced scorecard, management may not know how to increase ROI. Kasi pag wala tayong scorecard, hindi natin madadetermine yung kung balance ba yung finance natin sa customers natin or yung ibang factor na nakaka-apekto sa scorecard, which is kapag hindi balance na or kapag wala tayong scorecard, hindi rin natin malalaman kung paano ma-increase yung ROI natin. Kasi nga, di ba, kapag bababa yung ROI natin or wala tayong ROI at all, we need some adjustments sa ibang aspect na meron yung business natin. Which is one of those is yung balance scorecard nga natin. Next is managers often inherit many committed costs over which they have no control. So, ayun nga, hindi naman siya covered or hindi na siya nakokontrol ng manager natin or manager ng isang company. So, ayun, ROI is being checked in that. So, next naman, managers evaluated on ROI may reject profitable investment opportunities. Next.
So for the learning object, objective to compute residual income and understand its strengths and weaknesses. So, may idea ba kayo kung bakit kinukompute ang residual income? Okay, tama. So, residual income helps company allocate resources more efficiently. So, ginagamit to para makumpara yung departments and para makapag-decide kung saan mag-i-invest. So, next. So, residual income, another measure performance, net operating income above some minimum return on operating asset. So, dito, yung amount ng money na leftover, bago yung lahat ng expenses and financial obligations ay bayad na, and ang tawag din dito is economic profit. So, next po. So, calculating residual income. Residual income is equals to net operating income less average operating assets times minimum required rate of return. So, ito yung difference sila kung paano nakukuha yung ROI and residual income. So, ROI measures net operating income earned relative to the investment in average operating assets, while yung residual income naman is na-measure siya by operating income earned less the minimum required return on average operating assets. So, next po. So, can anyone read this example? So, let's all read together na lang. So, the retail division of Setir Incorporation has average operating assets of 100,000 and is required to earn a return of 20% on these assets. In the current period, the division earns 30,000. So, to compute this, we need to get the required return muna. So, para makuha natin residual income. So, para makuha yon, ang formula for the minimum required return is operating assets multiplied by required return, and then after that, to compute the residual income, we need to get the actual income, which is the 30,000, and the minimum required return na makukuha natin pag na-compute na natin yung operating income multiplied by required return. So, the next po. So, here's the example and the answer. So, operating assets, which is $100,000, and the required rate of return na 20%. So, by multiplying it, we're gonna get $20,000. So, the actual income, like what I said earlier, it is $30,000. So, we get the minimum required return na 20,000. We're just gonna subtract it. So, we're gonna get the residual income of $10,000. So, motivation and residual income. Residual income encourages managers to make profitable investment that will be rejected by managers using ROI. Katulad nga ng sinabi ko kanina na pag residual income, it helps the company kung saan ba mag-i-invest, kung paano i-allocate, at paano nila gagamitin yung income nila ng maayos. So, next. So, here's another example. Redmond Awnings, a division of Wrap Up Corporation, has a net operating income of $60,000 and average operating assets of $300,000. The required rate of return for the company is $15. What is the division's ROI? So, to get this, we have the formula of ROI is equals to net operating income over average operating assets. So, our net operating income is $60,000 and our average operating asset is $300,000. So, by computing it, alam nyo na ba kung ano yung sagot dito? Is it A, 25%, B, 5%, C, 15%, or D, 20%? So, tama. The answer is letter B. Here's the computation. Okay, next po. So for you to understand more, there's another example. Redmond Owning, a division of Wrap-Up Corporation, has a net operating income. So same lang to ng kaninang example. So we're just gonna add this information. If the manager of the division is evaluated based on ROI, will she want to make an investment of $100,000 that will generate additional net operating income of $80,000 per year? So, what do you think is the answer? Is it yes or no? Okay. The answer is no. So, bakit no? So, we have the computation of ROI is equals to 78,000 dollars over $400,000, which is gonna get the 19.5%. So this lowered the division's ROI from 20% down to 19%. 19.5% rather. So next po. So another one, the company's required rate of return is 15%. Would the company want the manager of the Redmond Owning division to make an investment of $100,000 that would generate additional net operating income of $18,000 per year? So what do you think is the answer? Okay, so the answer will be next po. Yes, because $18,000 over $100,000 is 18%. So mas mataas siya dun sa nire-required of return na 15%. So next po. So another one, Redmond Owning, a division of Wrap-Up Corporation, has a net operating income of $60,000 and average operating assets of $300,000. The required rate of return for the company is 15%. What is the division residual income? So the answer is letter C, 15,000. So to get that, we have the net operating income of $60,000 and required return of 15%, and then multiply siya sa $300,000 to get that. We have the answer of 45,000, and then ipaglalas lang sila to get the residual income. So the answer will be $15,000. So here, if the manager of the Redmond Owning division is evaluated based on residual income, will she want to make an investment of $100,000 that will generate additional net operating income of $18,000 per year? So the answer is yes, because net operating income is 78,000 and then required return of 15% multiplied by $400,000. So we're gonna get $60,000. And so to subtract that, we got $18,000 for the residual income. So meron siyang increase na $3,000 in the residual income. So perhaps division comparison and residual income. So residual income, ina-approach niya yung one major disadvantage and hindi siya makukumpara sa performance ng division of different sizes. Next. So ayun lang for today. I hope you learn with us na diniscuss namin for today. So thank you.